so we're live with the Message Talk Show. Hi, today
Hi.
is an awesome day. We have Normi all the way from the north of the country. Say hi, Normi.
Hi.
And my name's Alex Gordon, your host. Today we are triggering off with Can You Have It All? It's an amazing topic. Can you have it all? And it was. I think sometimes you think things happen by accident, but they don't really happen by accident. I was having a conversation with my daughter about, what people are pursuing in their lives. And she came to the conclusion that some people were lied to because about having it all, having everything you want and not paying a price for it. And then this lady by the name of Normi Rose, wow, she posted this article on Facebook. And for some reason, I don't think I was I following you?
I don't know. Sure, to be honest.
I don't know, but it just came into my newsfeed. It came into my newsfeed. I read it and I thought, wow, that's amazing. This lady needs to be on my show. She needs to be on my show because we were just hitting the same vibe. And I think it's a question that we need to answer today. Okay, so can you have it all? So today I have with me a lady by the name of Normi Rose Khwaja.
Yep, you got it right.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
The winner for the Best Inspirational Speaker Reba Awards 2019. She's a mindset NLP coach and a wealth strategist. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Normi Rose Khwaja. Hey!
Oh, thank you.
We're going to show this evening, all right? So, Normi, it's great to have you on the show today, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come all the way to London and to have a discussion with us. And I want to just start off the show by asking you about you. You know the backstory. Who are you, Normi? Who are you?
Oh, God. Who am I? I think I'm still figuring that out, Alex. Right. Who am I? Right. I'm Normi Rose Khwaja. I live in Birmingham. I'm a single mom of 3. I have a disabled child who's now 20. I have 4 businesses. And one of my businesses is obviously being a coach and obviously a speaker and an NLP practitioner. But it never always used to be like that. I come from very humble beginnings. So I came from a very poor, I used to live in what you call the ghetto. And I come from a very poor background. So my family, my father was a bus driver, 7 kids, 9 of us living in a 3-bedroom house in Birmingham. And to be honest, my childhood wasn't very happy. And as I got older, it didn't get any better. It actually got worse. I've come out of 2 domestic violence marriages. One was forced. That was in Pakistan to my cousin. Despite saying everything to not get married to him, it still went ahead and it didn't last very long. And I have a disabled child from that marriage. And I then went on to get married again in 2003. I had 2 sons from him, but again, it just wasn't the marriage that I wanted. It was they were very abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. And I finally then took the decision in 2012 to just cut all ties for my second husband and told him to leave. What I was going to do, I didn't know. I had 3 children, one of them being disabled and being in hospital a lot of the time. Didn't know how I was going to cope, but all I knew was I wasn't happy. The children weren't happy, and I needed to make that break. Now, 3 years ago, I found myself, after coming off a massive holiday, because when you've been through a lot of stuff in your life, I got to the point in 2016 where I was fed up. I was fed up to the nines, where I thought to myself, I spent my whole life doing things for other people
Well, when you say fed up, what do you mean? What that crisis point in your life? When you say fed up, what do you really mean about being fed up?
I think what it was, I'm a very giving person. I always want to see other people happy. So I'm constantly giving, and doing things for others on the basis that, and I think I used to do it on the basis that they would then make me happy in return. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. Right. So I constantly kept giving, constantly trying to make people happy, from your parents to your brothers and sisters to your husbands to your kids, to your in-laws. And it never worked out that way. So I got to the point in 2016 where I just thought, you know what? Nobody has ever bothered to look after me. It's always me looking after everybody else. I'm going to actually now do something for myself, which was the first time I actually felt that way. And I thought, I need to be now a little bit selfish, and I need to now start looking after myself. And that was when I decided.
What made you think? What actually made you think that you got to start looking after yourself? That whole self-care thing.
Because I spent my whole life looking after others, and I wasn't happy. Wow. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you're not happy, you're doing the things day in, day out, and you're still not happy. And you're thinking to yourself, right, I've done this, that person's happy. Why aren't I happy? Wow. Why am I not feeling fulfilled? Right? Why does that person not respect me enough to give me the love back or the respect back? So I think what it was, I was relying on others instead of relying on myself to make me happy. And I think I'd spent my whole life on others to make me happy. And I think 2016 for me was the time when I first understood that this isn't about others making me happy. I need to make myself happy. So that's where I went. And basically, I had 10 grand in the bank, and that's all I had. That was my savings. That was everything I had. And I went and booked myself.
Let me pull you back to where, because you said you come from a household of 7 kids. Yeah? Yes. You said you were poor, but you had 7 brothers and sisters in the house. Now that must have been exciting, amazing, having all the rivalry with your brothers and sisters in the house. So many of you. No,
I was number 4.
Right.
Okay. So I had 3 older than me, and I had 3 younger than me. I felt like, where do I belong? Do I belong in this group, or do I belong in that group? I'm not older and I'm not younger, so I'm just dangling. That's how I felt. Okay. Wow. So the olders were all like palling around together, and they were all like with each other, and then the 3 younger ones were all with each other. And it's like, sometimes I'd be with the older ones, and then sometimes I'd be with the younger ones, and I just didn't know where to be because I didn't know where I fitted in.
Amazing. Even then, it's such a big family, you didn't fit. You didn't think you fit.
Yeah. Wow. Because from a very young age, I've been what you call a rebel. Not in a bad sense, in the sense that I questioned everything. Mm-hmm. So if I was told you can't do this and I wanted to do it, I'd say why. Whereas everybody else, the olders and the youngers, they just followed what my parents said. But me, for some reason, from a very young age, I used to question everything. Wow. I was told you can't do this, you can't go to your friends. Why? You can't go on a skateboard. Why? You can't touch your brother's computer. Why? Everything was a why for me, because I was one of those people that I wouldn't just accept what was being put on the plate. Mm-hmm. I wanted to change what was being put on my plate. I wanted something that I couldn't have. And I think it's the same now. For me now, it's if somebody says to me I can't have it, I go doubly out to go and get it. So it's the same now. So I didn't feel like I fitted in anywhere when I was younger, and I used to get used a lot because I was very cute as a child. Wow. So, and I used to get bullied at school, and I was a very poorly child, very, very, very poorly child. I used to have severe eczema all over my body. all over my body, even on my face, arms, legs, everywhere. And I used to spend literally all of my childhood was brought up with being in constant bandages all the time. So I used to go to school and I used to get called a mummy. And I used to get bullied. And I constantly, and even it was the same at school, Alex. I didn't fit in. And I constantly tried to fit in with somebody or something or somewhere. But I just constantly didn't fit in.
Your own way. You're trying to forge your own way, but you couldn't create the gap for yourself.
No. And I still find it now. And I'm still finding that now, because basically it's like you want to be part of something, but you can't because they're not on the same wavelength as you or whatever. And you constantly, and I had this discussion last night with somebody. Throughout my life, I've constantly felt I've been misunderstood.
Wow.
Okay, people don't know the real Normi. They know what they see or what they think they see.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that was basically when I was younger as well, constantly trying to fit in and not getting anywhere.
Misunderstood.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I constantly, still even now, I feel like I'm misunderstood because I'm not the norm.
Wow.
And it's really funny that my name is Normi because I'm not the norm. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And
I'll tell you something at the end of the show when we finish. I'll tell you something.
I'm not what you call the normal person, the normal sheep who follows, who does what everybody else does and follows the leader. I am the leader.
Hey.
Yeah, I am the leader, and people follow me. But I get a lot of aggro because of it. I get a lot of aggro because I'm considered the black sheep.
So you've grown up with 7 kids in your family, grown up with a big family. You don't fit in. All right. And then you step into a marriage of your own. Okay.
No, not a marriage of my own.
Okay. What happened there?
Oh, God. Where do I start? Right. Okay. I was what you call promised at birth.
Okay.
So when I was born, my uncle in Pakistan basically said to my mother, so my mum's brother, that daughter of yours is getting married to this son of mine. Okay, so I was promised at birth, basically. And as I grew up, I kept hearing that. By the way, you're getting married to so-and-so. And I was like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. So what happened was, again, as I was growing up, I was rebelling. I don't want to get married to him. I don't want to get married to him. I don't want to get married to him. But because of the ties, the close ties between obviously my mom and her brother, they weren't listening to me.
Wow.
Right? So even to the point of where I because she wasn't listening to me, and because I was very naive back then, and you'd never defied your parents, whatever happened.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
That's true for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, you never defied your parents, and to be honest, I was scared of my parents. I'll be honest, I was scared of my parents, and because everybody else was doing what my parents wanted, I was scared of obviously going against everybody and doing something different.
Wow.
So I got the constant guilt trip, the constant, you're ruining our respect.
Wow.
So eventually what happened was, yes, I went to Pakistan. I ended up getting married to my cousin. It didn't end well. I had my older son out of him, who obviously is a disabled child, which I spent literally 20 years of my life looking after myself, despite getting married again. My second husband, would not look after my older son. He never bonded with him like you would expect.
What is it like then, having to bring up a disabled child more or less on your own and being there 24 hours for that child?
It was the most hardest thing I ever did in my whole life. I spent Okay, so when I was growing up, we followed, obviously we were told to follow Islam because that's what
Right.
we were born into. That was another thing I used to literally rebel against as well. I used to say, why do we need to do this? Why do we need to do that? What does this mean? What does that mean? So there was a point in my life when I got to the point where I stopped believing in God.
Wow.
I stopped because I just thought to myself, because of all the stuff that had happened to me, literally from birth up
Why
until,
me? Why me?
yeah,
My.
basically I went through that stage.
Why?
Why me? Why not the next person? Why not
Wow.
that lady down the road?
Wow.
Why are you constantly punishing me? Yeah. And if you're out there, right? If you're out there like you say you are, and the world tells the whole world says that you're out there, what are you doing this to me? What have I done? Yeah.
Wow.
And basically I stopped believing in God. I
Wow.
absolutely stopped believing in God. So, and I used to play the blame game. Oh my God, I used to play the blame game.
But
It was everybody else's fault but mine.
so even though you stopped believing in God, you had some faith in something to take you from where you were in your marriage to then suddenly step into this new arena of running your
Yeah.
own business and standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
How did you get
So
to
what
that
happened
point?
in 2016 was, like I said, let's just rewind a little bit. I then decided to do something for myself. And what I did was, like I said, I had 10 grand in the bank. I blew it. I booked myself a 5-week holiday, right? Me and my kids, we went to Australia. We
Wow.
went to Singapore. We went to Malaysia. We
That
went
was a
to
holiday of a
Dubai.
lifetime. That was a holiday of
Yeah,
a
it was.
lifetime.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That was exciting.
And oh my God, I've never been so excited in my whole life. I'm telling you. I booked that and I blew the whole 10 grand. And
Wow.
never ever once in my head did it come to the point of when I get back to the UK, what am I going to do? Because I haven't got the money.
Wow.
That didn't even occur in my head. All I knew was I need to go on this holiday and I need to enjoy myself and I need to have a great time.
So
Yeah.
you knew you wanted something that was gonna let you forget where you are, your situation, but bring you, I don't know, just dull your senses. Is that what a holiday did?
Yeah.
Did it dull your senses?
All I knew was I needed to do something for me because
For
I had
you,
spent
okay.
I had spent my whole life doing things for others and to make others happy.
Wow.
And all I knew was I have to do something for me to make me happy.
Right. 1 minute there. 1 minute there, Normi. Let me just say this point, guys. Did you hear this? I'm talking to the public out there now. At some point in your life, you've got to do something for yourself.
Yeah.
All right. When you've been giving, when you've been working, when you've been pushing forward, helping other people for your own sanity. Am I right, Normi?
Yeah,
for your own sanity, you need to do something for yourself.
Yeah. People say to me, I'm too independent, right? I never understood that until now, and I'll tell you why. I have spent my whole life relying on me, not relying on. If I wanted something from a very young age, I'd go and get it. Yeah, whatever it was, whether it was sweets, chocolate bar, whatever it was. Yeah, I'd go and get it. Now, basically, back in 2000 and was it 9? I think it was 9 or 8, right? I so wanted to emigrate to Canada. I wanted to emigrate to Canada. That was my dream, right? And basically what happened was I had gone to Canada in 2006. This was when I was separated from my husband. And I went for a holiday to Canada and I loved it. And I thought, oh my God, I can see myself living here, right? So I then I came back and I put plans into place for me to emigrate to Canada. And I checked all the rules, I checked all the regulations, and I could go based on myself. It was great. Then what happens is, because my ex and me are separated, he then decides he wants to come back into my life in 2007, I think it was. And I then basically talk to him about it and say, well, I want to emigrate to Canada. If you want to be with me, you have to, we're going to go to Canada. Are you okay with that? Fine. Yes. No problem. Right. I then ended up becoming pregnant with my third child in 2008, and I had my child in 2009. Wow. And so obviously nothing happened until obviously then, up until my child was born. So then I finally then said, right, I'm getting a solicitor, Canadian solicitor, and I'm going to get the ball rolling on this. I really want to go. Something happened, then which stopped me again, right? Then basically got to 2010, 2011, and then finally, when I'm finally getting the ball rolling on things, he then comes out and says to me, how do you expect me to move to a country I've never been to?
Wow.
Right? So I then, again, spend another 10 grand of my money, right? Because he was not, my ex-husband, my second one, I was the breadwinner. He was not the breadwinner, right? I was bringing in the money. I was paying the bills, the mortgage, everything, looking after the kids, sorting the kids out, holidays, you name it. It was me, right? So I then took 10 grand out of my money, and I went and booked a massive, lavish holiday, just me and him, because we had never been on a honeymoon, right? We had been married, 7 years, but we'd never been on a honeymoon. So I went and booked. So we were initially going to New York, and then we were going to Vancouver. And while we were in Vancouver, he was going to fly over to Calgary for a job interview, right? Because basically the rules changed and I couldn't go based on me. We could only go based on his job. Okay? So we did that. This was in July 2011. And you won't believe what he did. You have no idea. This holiday or this going cost me best part of around 10 grand, right? Okay. He literally, I don't want to swear, but he screwed it all up. Wow. Intentionally. Wow. Okay? He screwed it all up from the holiday bit to the interview bit. He messed it up intentionally. Okay? Because he didn't want to go. Yeah? So basically what happened was we got to New York. Can you believe I was in New York 5 days, right? But I only saw the Statue of Liberty and nothing else.
My God.
Yeah. Because of him.
There was no tours, there was
nothing. He managed to get him, because what happened, right? We went somewhere on a coach. We were coming back at night. That was it. We went to Washington. We went to Washington for 1 day. And when we basically were coming back, and it was in the middle of the night, he managed to get himself left in a service station in the middle of nowhere.
My dear.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I ended up going back to the hotel, stressing out of my head, thinking, where's my husband? He had no phone on him and no wallet and no ID.
Wow.
Okay. So he literally went to the service station. He asked, obviously, as you know, Asian guy, bold. What are they going to think? Terrorist, right? They called the police. He got arrested. He got literally scrutinized and interviewed for the best part of 24 hours. They didn't believe him because he had no ID on him. Yeah. Had no phone on him, had nothing on him. And then basically what happened was somehow he managed to make it back to New York. We had 1 day left.
Wow.
It wasn't even 1 day. And I went to see the Statue of Liberty on the last day before we were flying off to Vancouver. That's what happened in New York. And then in Vancouver, he messed up the interview intentionally, didn't tell me what he was doing. Wow. And then again, wasted my money. Right? So we came back.
But despite all of these challenges,
Yeah.
You went on to run 4 businesses. This is what I can't. You went on to you
Yeah.
know, you separated, and then
Yeah.
you went on to run 4 businesses. You're a
Yeah.
speaker. You're a winner of Reba Awards.
Yeah.
You're just awesome. Now tell us, how did you what
Right. So
prompted
when I
that?
came back from the holiday in 2017, okay, I was broke to the nines. Broke. One thing, I don't borrow money. I don't borrow money from people. Okay, it's just one of those things. If I have to, borrowing money for me is like the absolute last resort. But I will try to better myself before I get to that stage. So I got back, and obviously I didn't have money. I didn't have money for bread. What I started initially doing was I went around my house. And I started picking up things which, to be honest, I didn't need. Clothes, including shoes, clothes. Started selling them on eBay.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Started selling them on eBay, on Facebook, on Shapak, or wherever I could sell them, I would sell them, right? So that's how I initially started. I then got into personal development as well. And I don't know what made me get into personal development. Something in me told me I need to get into personal development. So all of a sudden I started, I think I saw something on Facebook. I think I heard some coach speak, or I saw some motivational video, and that's where it started.
Wow.
So what happened was I then started following Tony Robbins. I then
yeah.
Oh yeah, and mine. Oh my God, I love that man to bits. So I started listening to Tony Robbins, and I started following a few of these motivational people on Facebook. And my first motivational event, which only cost me 17 quid, I went to in February 2017.
Wow.
Right, it was a crap event. I'll say it's a crap event now, but at the time I thought it was a bee's knees. Yeah.
At the time, for where you were at that time, it was great.
At the time, I thought it was the bee's knees. But basically, this guy who was running it is just basically doing a pure copy of Tony Robbins' event. Pure copy, pure rip-off. Yeah, but because I hadn't been to Tony Robbins at that time, I didn't know. Yeah. So it started from there. Then I went to a few other events, and I started listening to more videos. And then somehow, somewhere down the line, I managed to get the money together to go to UPW.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So
April
2017, which was 3-4 months after I got back from Australia, I managed to find the money to go book UPW and the hotel and everything, and go down for 4 days and attend this UPW.
You know what? I was there in April 2017 at UPW.
Oh my God!
I was there. I probably didn't see you, but I was there too.
There you go. See? There is no accidents. You were supposed to meet me. Yeah? There you go. And I truly believe that everything that happens in your life is not an accident. True. It was supposed to happen.
Amen.
So I went to UPW, and obviously you can just imagine, from when I come away from UPW, I was pumped. Oh my God, I was pumped. Right? But even before UPW, I told you, let me quickly tell you, when I came back in January, some guy in LinkedIn had been following me who was the CEO of Asians in Business. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, he was following me on LinkedIn and on Facebook, and he basically said he wanted to meet me. In relation to what, I don't know. So 21st of January, I went down to London to meet him. How I got the money to book a hotel and all the rest of it, I don't know. But there you go. I made it happen. So basically, I went down and I stayed in Canary Wharf. So I met him on the Saturday. And then I went to Canary Wharf, and that's where I'd booked this hotel, a really shit hotel, right? It was around about 40 quid, but it was whatever. Yeah. And next morning, I had a meeting with him as again at 1:00. And he basically wanted me to become an ambassador for Asians in Business.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God. Okay. So what happened the next morning was, and I'm in Canary Wharf, and I have to get to Leicester Square. I don't have any money in my account. I don't have. I somehow didn't realize. So when I checked my account the next morning, I had less than 10 quid in there, and I needed £12 to buy a 2 pass to get back to Leicester Square to go for this meeting, and then go. And obviously, I had my Euston pass already to go back to Birmingham. And I thought, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So I've rang my son up. He ain't got any money. I've rang other people up. They haven't got any money. And I'm like,
challenges.
what do I do? Right? So there had been this guy on Facebook, and I won't name him, but he'd been checking in on me, not in a pervy way.
Yeah.
Just in a way where he cares about you. And he even made a comment to me. He goes, Normi, and I'd never met him. Normi, I see you all the time on Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And I see you looking after everybody else.
Wow.
Who's looking after you?
My.
So he made that comment, and he made me think.
This guy, he only knows of you on Facebook. He doesn't know you.
Yeah, on Facebook. He used to inbox me, and he never used to be in a pervy way. He just used to be in a very caring way. Concerning way. Yeah.
Right.
So basically, I then was in this dilemma thinking, what do I do? How do I get this money now to obviously get to Leicester Square? So reluctantly, I text him, not to ask him for money, just to tell him my dilemma.
Right.
So I told him my dilemma, and next thing I know, he's basically asking me for my bank details, and he says, I'll put some money in your account. And I even still then said, no, I don't want you to do that because you don't know me. And he's no, it's a loan, blah, 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 send me your details. And I very reluctantly, after saying no like a million times, sent him my details, and he sent 50 quid in my account.
Wow.
And I then obviously got to Leicester Square. The meeting got cancelled, right, by the way, because he wasn't feeling well. And I didn't thought to myself, okay, I might as well go home. I've got nothing to do here. I might as well go home. So obviously this guy, he keeps texting me, telling me, asking me where I am, what am I doing, and blah, blah, blah. And he lives in London as well. And I then basically tell him that, oh, by the way, my meeting has got cancelled. I'm going to go home now. Right. And he goes, no, stop. Where are you? And I'm like, Covent Garden. Stop right there. I'm coming. I'm like, oh my God. I thought, I never shit myself. So
you've never met this guy. He sent you £50 and now he's arranging to meet you. My God.
He's obviously come. Oh my God. I'm just like, these thoughts are going through my head, thinking, oh my God, he's coming. What do I do? And who is he? And blah, blah, blah. And you know what I mean? So he then obviously, because I didn't know what he looked like. All I could see on his profile was loads of pictures with sunglasses on. Right? So I didn't know what he looked like. And I was just like, oh my God, what does he look like? How am I going to know it's him? And I'm standing, I don't know if you know Covent Garden well. Do you know where the James Bond Museum is?
Yes. I think I do.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm a massive fan. Right. So because I was waiting and because I now had the money, I decided to go into the James Bond Museum, £10. And I went in and had looked at everything and blah, 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 while I was waiting for this guy. So I then obviously, he's texted me, where are you? Oh, I'm outside the James Bond Museum. Right. Okay, stand there. I'm coming. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm standing. So that's me there. Right. And he's just literally, he's walked down the side. He stands right next to me and he goes, hello, Normi. And I thought, oh my God.
Wow, that was a chance in a lifetime. That was. He
scared the hell out of me. Right. The next thing I know, we've gone for lunch. We've had lunch. He's paid for it. And long story short, we are the bestest of friends to today. And he was the first guy who gave me my first business.
This was an angel. This was your angel who stepped into your life, yeah?
He was the first guy who set me up with my first business back in, when was it now? So it was around April, May 2017.
Wow.
So that is one of my businesses.
That's
okay.
amazing. That's amazing.
And then what happened after that was I then came into contact with a coach who lives near London. And I'd been following him on Facebook. For some reason, I liked his content. And the next thing I know, he says, oh, but I'm coming to Birmingham. Who'd like to meet up? So I sent a message saying, oh, I really like your stuff. I really like your content. As you're in Birmingham, I'd like to meet up with you. So we set up a meeting where it wasn't just me, it was me and my friend who then went to see him on this Sunday. So we went down, we had lunch with him, and the next thing I know, he basically turns around and he says, oh, I'm going into a meeting now. This is 2:00 on a Sunday, and I'm presenting. And I thought to myself, Sunday, meeting, presenting. What is he presenting on a Sunday in Birmingham? So he goes, oh, if you're free, why don't you come in the room? And I thought, okay, wasn't doing anything, was free, went in the room. This was the first, it was a network marketing company.
Okay.
And it was based all to do with Forex.
Right.
And Forex was something that I had been interested but never had followed up on. And as soon as I heard the presentation, I was in.
You're in.
I thought I had to be part of this, yeah? However I'm part of it, I need to be part of it, because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. I still didn't have the money to join. I was still in that position of not having money. So this was around April, May 2020.
But that didn't stop you?
No.
Not having money hasn't stopped you so far?
I didn't join straight away because I had somebody in my ear doing the negativity.
Okay.
So I was positive and then she was negative and she kept pumping me with the negativity. Okay. And I literally then changed my decision. So this person came back on the Tuesday to come and see us on the basis that he wanted to sign me up or sign both of us up. And we turned around and we said, oh, by the way, we're not joining, right? And he was devastated because he thought he'd come all the way from London, right? So he was devastated. So I think he clicked onto the fact that she's negative, she's positive. I need to speak to this one separately. Yeah. Okay. So he carried on with the relationship with me separately, away from my friend. And then somehow after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more meetings, right? What happened was he then invited me. He invited me separately to come and meet him and speak to him and whatever. But I still didn't join because I still had the negativity pumping in my head. So basically what happened, right, was the American guys, they were in Birmingham. I met them, I think, and slowly I was adhering to a yes. So when on the 5th meeting, which was the following, I think a month later, they had that meeting again on the Sunday in Birmingham. And he said something to me and I basically said, right, I'm in. But the only problem was I didn't have the money. I only had, it was £200 to join. I only had £50 in my account and I needed to find 150 from somewhere. So I rang my brother and my brother basically borrowed me £150 and I joined on that day. And I remember the millionaire being in the room. So there was a millionaire in the room and he lives in Formby in Liverpool. His name's Simon Brooks.
Oh my God. I know Simon Brooks.
Do you know Simon Brooks? Yeah.
I know Simon Brooks.
Yeah. So Simon Brooks is in the room, and obviously because he'd met me quite a few times, and every time he just used to have a pop at me and say, "Normi, when you joining? When you joining? When you joining?" And then even then, so I'd joined outside before the meeting, and then I've come inside, and he's sitting there again, and he goes, "Normi, I can't believe you. When are you going to join?" And I said, "I just did," and he just starts laughing. And he goes, "What do you mean you just did?" I said, "I've just joined up outside." And he was laughing. So that company literally was the start. Let's just say the start of my rebirth.
Right. Okay.
That company was the start of my rebirth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've come from a difficult background, big family. You can't fit in, failed marriages, and now you're on your way to building your wealth and your NLP and your coaching. Where are you going? Where are you heading? Where are you heading?
Oh my God, the world is my oyster. There you go. The world is my oyster. There is nothing I don't feel I can achieve.
Wow.
There is nothing I feel anymore. I used to. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not going to be able to get to where that person is. But my mentality has changed dramatically in the last 3 years because of different events taking place. I joined that company and taking the fact that basically I don't have network marketing experience. I didn't have any. Right. But for some reason, people just basically just wanted to meet me, wanted to follow me, wanted to join me. I built a massive team within so that first company I was with, let's say 6 months, 7 months, I built a team of over 200 people in 6 to 7 months. And I hit ranks really quickly. And even Simon Brooks and my sponsor, they were all shocked to the nines. They were thinking, where the hell does this girl come from? She's acting like she's got 10 years experience, but I didn't have 10 years of experience. I joined on the Sunday. On the Monday, I just put a post out, and I kid you not, Alex, this post was basically to the point of, I want to help some people make some money. If you can come and meet me at the Holiday Inn Great Bar on Wednesday, let me know. That was it. That was all I put out. I'm telling you now, on that post, I got 50 hits.
Wow.
50 people telling me they wanted to come and meet me. Right. So what happened, right, was, so after sifting through all of them, I had 12 confirmed appointments, right, for the Wednesday. And these were not just people from Birmingham. These were people from London, from Leeds, from Bristol, from Cardiff, everywhere.
From your Facebook page?
Say that again. Yeah, on my Facebook. Yeah, on a Facebook post. Yeah.
People coming from all over the country.
They were all coming from all over the country to see me. And I literally, on the Wednesday, from like literally 8:45 up until 5 o'clock, I was booked. Wow. Right? Because I had to give time slots. Yeah. And what happened, right, was I just literally, right, oh my God, I'm not going to pull this one off. Yeah. Right. So I've rang my sponsor up and I go, I don't care what you're doing on Wednesday. You better just get here at 8:30. And he goes, why? What's happening? I've got 12 confirmed people coming to see me. He fell off his chair. He goes, you what? I says, I'll kid you not. I've got 12 people coming to see me. He goes, how? I says, I don't know how. Just make sure you're here. Yeah. So he's ended up coming at 8:30. And I'm telling you now, out of those 12 people, 9 people turned up.
Wow.
Out of those 9 people, 2 people signed up into my business, and my confidence went through the roof.
It would do.
Absolute through the roof. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Right? And then basically after that, it just got better and better and better. We were doing like whole of the hotel lounge was like dedicated to us. Wow. You know, so we were sitting there, we were trading, we were winning trades, we were, I was recruiting and trading at the same time. You know, I was doing meetings, I was doing coffee meetings, we were presenting and all of it.
All happening in Birmingham.
This was all happening in Birmingham, and no, not just in Birmingham. I was doing London presentations, I was doing Manchester presentations. I was presenting myself, yeah. Wow. I was traveling all up and down the country, yeah, like 3 times in a week. I was presenting 3 times in a week, and you got to think, I've got kids. I'm a single parent. I've got a disabled child.
And this is what's taking us back to the point of, can you have it all? Because this is a severe question here. Yes. Can you have it all?
Yes.
So, Normi, we're going to take a 30-second break. And I want you to then read the extract from Steve Jobs that you posted.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about that. All right. So we're going to take a 30-second break. Okay.
Okay.
You have a message that you have to give. You have a message to give the world. The world needs to hear you. The world needs to see what you have, because you're here for a reason. You're not here by accident. So, the extract from Steve Jobs.
Right.
Normi.
Okay. So, let me read it out first, and then I'll tell you why I put it up.
Okay.
Okay. So, Steve Jobs dies a billionaire with a fortune of $7 billion at the age of 56 from pancreatic cancer. And here are some of his last words. In other eyes, my life is the essence of success. But aside from work, I have a little joy. And in the end, wealth is just a fact of life to which I am accustomed. Okay. At this moment, lying on the bed, sick and remembering all my life, I realize that all my recognition and wealth that I have is meaningless in the face of imminent death. You can hire someone to drive a car for you, make money for you, but you cannot rent someone to carry the disease for you. One can find material things, but there is one thing that cannot be found when it is lost: life. Treat yourself well and cherish others. As we get older, we are smarter, and we slowly realize that the watch is worth $30 or $300, both of which show the same time. Whether we carry a purse worth $30 or $300, the amount of money in the wallets are the same. Whether we drive a car worth $150,000 or a car worth $30,000, the road and distance are the same. We reach the same destination. If we drink a bottle worth $300 or wine worth $10, the stroller will be the same. If the house we live in is 300 square meters or 3,000 square meters, the loneliness is the same. Your true inner happiness does not come from the material things of this world. Whether you're flying first class or economy class, if the plane crashes, you crash with it. So I hope you understand that when you have friends or someone to talk to, this is true happiness. 5 undeniable facts. Do not educate your children to be rich, educate them to be happy. So when they grow up, they will know the value of things, not the price. Eat your food as medicine, otherwise you will need to eat your medicine as food. Whoever loves you will never leave you, even if he has 100 reasons to give up. He will always find one reason to hold on. If you want to, there is a big difference between being human and human being. If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And in conclusion, the 6 best doctors in the world: sunlight, rest, exercise, diet, self-confidence, friends. Keep them all in stages of life and enjoy a healthy life. Love the people God sent to you. One day he'll need them back. Wow. There you go. This resonated with me the other day because of what I'm seeing lately, not just from Facebook or social media, but from what I'm seeing with my own family, my own friends, my own colleagues, just people I generally come into contact with daily. There seems to be a lot of emphasis on things, material things. Right. Okay. Me personally, like I said, I wear a £500 Gucci watch. I'll probably never change it. I cannot justify spending 10 grand on a Rolex watch. Yeah, okay, it's nice, it's great, it's blingy, it looks great, it shows stature and all the rest of it. But when you look at it, what is the real reason you're buying it? Are you buying it to impress yourself, or are you buying it to impress others? Right? Where could you be spending that money somewhere else, which could be served better? Right? Even something like, I've never flown first class. I've never flown business class, and I probably never will. I'll probably do it once just to see what it's like. Yeah? Yeah? Not because I can't afford it. It's because I can't see the justification in it. Why would if I can spend £600 on a seat, which is going to get me to the same destination in the same amount of time, and then spend 3 grand on let's say a first class seat, which, you get to lie down, whoop-de-doo. So what? Right? Why would you want to do that? I mean, I'd rather give the money to the homeless. I help the homeless a lot. I go soup kitchens, I help out at homeless parties and all the rest of it. That to me is more soul enriching than having a Rolex on your wrist, or flying first class, or driving a Bentley or a Rolls Royce and all that. Because at the end of the day, when you die, people are not going to remember you for your Bentley or your Rolex.
But why do you think we're chasing things, though? Why do you think we're chasing things?
Because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel like they've made it. They make it. It's basically, it's like a, what's the word? It's a thing to show to other people. Oh look at me.
So because
me.
Steve Jobs was a great guy, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
Awesome, the way he thinks, the way he does his presentations.
Yeah.
And this is at the end of his life here now. He's at the end of his life.
Yeah.
And he's telling us, he's focusing us about where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
We're supposed to find inner happiness, not in things, not in the house, not in the car. But that totally goes against
within yourself.
What people are actually doing.
Yeah. And I think most of the reason people buy these things is to make them happy. But what they don't seem to realize is that inner happiness, or true happiness, self-love, comes from within. It doesn't come from things. I've got things. Yeah. I'm not going to say I don't have things.
Let's put the things aside.
Yeah.
And say, okay, so it's not things that we ought to be pursuing, but we're supposed to be pursuing what we came to do. That sense of purpose. Am I right? That sense of purpose. Now, can you pursue that sense of purpose, grow a family, and do everything that you came to do?
Yes, you can.
Why do you say that?
You have to have the right mindset. And the problem with 99% of the world, because it's only the 1% that are doing it, 99% of the world, they don't have the right mindset. They don't.
99% of the world don't have the right mindset.
Yeah. No,
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because they don't. It's only if you want to be in the elite 1%, you have to have the right mindset. And the problem with society today is they just don't have it. They've been conditioned, they've been programmed like a computer, and they can't get away from that.
Wow.
They can't get away from that. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. And to change, for true change, if you really want to change, you have to be open-minded. And I learned this 3 years ago. And if I was not open-minded to going into that meeting and joining something which I was not familiar with, and it scared the hell out of me, Alex, because believe me, it did. Yeah.
Wow.
But I knew that for me to come away from where I was, which was a broke individual with nothing and no money and no job and no savings, I had to do something different to what I had been doing for the last 40 odd years.
Wow.
Yeah?
Something had to change.
You have to change. You have to change your mindset.
Wow.
And if I had not been open-minded to something new and something scary and something totally out of my comfort zone, I would not be where I am today.
Wow.
Okay. And joining a network marketing company because of the stigma of it. And yes, there is a lot of negativity out there.
Okay.
Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. It's this, it's that. People at the top only make the money. And yes, I had been subjected to all of that. Even like I said to you, my friend who was the negative one, she was telling me all that as well. But the thing is, all I knew was I cannot keep on doing the same old what I've been doing for the last 40 odd years. Because look at me now. I'm in a position.
Different person. Now,
yeah, I'm in a different person. And because I was open-minded.
In the closing 5 minutes that we have, what can you say about Megan? Closing 5 minutes we got. Tell me about what you think about Megan, because Megan's joined the royal family, yeah?
Yeah.
And we're talking about people who have it all, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
And she's joined the royal family, and now they're making a decision to split and go and live somewhere else. What do you think about
that? Right, okay, what do I think about that? I actually think, okay, there's two sides to every story, okay?
Correct.
I think she's wrong, but I think she's right. Okay? When they talk about have it all, right? She had it all, even before she got married.
Right.
She's a successful actress in a successful drama, American series. She was making really good money. She was making millions.
Right.
But what she didn't have was the stigma of paparazzis always in her face and always in her business. And she had her private life, which everybody, I want my private life. You want your private life, Alex.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and then when she obviously went to the other side of becoming a princess, right? She should have had some sort of expectation, which I'm sure she did, of my life's going to change. I'm not going to have any private life because these are the royals, yeah? And the royals are followed everywhere. They are, you know, they have to be part of everything. They have to go to every event. They have to be present, yeah? So when they talk about, oh, well, she's joined something that where she can have it all, she already had it all. Wow. This is what they don't seem to understand. But she had her life. She had her private life, which I think at the same time is what she wants now. So on the basis of that she's joined, and then basically she's now, it is overwhelming. It's very overwhelming that she's always got people in her face all the time, and she doesn't have a private moment. She can't go anywhere without being followed and all the rest of it. So on that basis, I think she's wrong to take him away, because she should have expected that.
So you think she's taking him away? Yeah?
She's taking him away from the royal family. And to be honest, in taking into fact that what happened to the mother,
well, that's
I really think that the two brothers should have a really strong stance in the royals because of what happened to their mother. Correct. Yeah. So on that basis, I think she's wrong, that she shouldn't be taking him away, because she knew exactly who she was marrying and what she was getting herself into. But on the other hand, I can understand where she's coming from. She wants a private life. She wants to have her private time. She wants to know that she can do things and go places and not have to always adhere to a schedule.
But as we all know, when you're dating, life is very different to then when you settle down in marriage with someone. So when you're dating, you see the best bits. The royals show them best selves, and you see the very, you know, the fun, the nice side. And suddenly she merges into the family, and she sees the other side that we can't see, that we don't really see.
Because there's an expectation. You're a princess now. You have to adhere to certain rules and regulations. You cannot be in certain places. You know, I'm sure she wants to go down Oxford Street and go to sit in the bar, but she can't because she's a royal. Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure she'd be able to go to Oxford Street. She might just have to have about 20 bodyguards around her, but I'm sure she can still go.
I mean, obviously, I'm talking from being a woman. I'd hate that because you can't do anything private. You haven't got any private life. And sometimes, you know, and I'm exactly the same. I like to have my me time. I have a lot of me time when I just want to be on my own. I just want to do things for myself. I want to be away from my kids. I want to be away from society. I want to be away from my colleagues, my team members, and all the rest of it. Yeah. So on that basis, I can totally get her.
So you're saying you can have it all. You're saying you can have it all.
You can.
And when you talk about having it all, you're talking about purpose, not things.
Yes.
What you came to do, what you came to be.
What is your purpose in life? Why are you here?
Right.
What is your job to do on earth? Right. How many people are you supposed to help? How many people are you supposed to, what is your legacy? What is your job? What are you here for? What is your purpose? What is your message to the world?
What do you want to leave? Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Normi, let me stop you here, Normi, because we're on the final 30 seconds now for the show to end. What is the one message that you want to tell women out there? What is the one message that you want to give to women out there, people out there, about changing their life and change their perspective? What is it that you want to say?
Right, change your mindset. Go and do what you want, darlings. Go and do what you want. And stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to jealous people. Do what makes you happy. And it might not necessarily do anything to do with money, but if it makes you happy, go and do it. Go and help as many people as you can. Because when you serve others, you serve yourself.
That's amazing. And where can people find you, Normi?
Right, Normi Khwaja on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as well, but I'm generally more on Facebook. So please, guys, send me a friend request, send me a message. I do a lot of talking. I speak at a lot of events now. I'm doing launches. I'm doing all sorts. I'm doing acting. And you can. I'm getting invited now. So after speaking, after winning the award last year, my speaking career has gone through the roof. I get asked literally every day.
Okay. We're at the moment now. We're finishing now. Thank you so much, Normi, for joining us today. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you. I'm going
to be
watching this, and they're in Houston, Texas.
Say that again.
Thingy out to me. Send me a message. I'm in Houston next month, right, for a 4-day conference for one of my companies that I'm with, the travel company. I'm meeting Holton Bugs. I don't know if you know who that is. But yeah, my life has gone from zero to hero, or should I say 0 to heroine? Yeah, right. And that's probably going to be the name of my book, From Zero to Heroine. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I shouldn't say, I need to put the E on the end, otherwise they'll think it's a drug. Yeah. Right.
Thank you so much, Normi, for being with us today.
Brilliant.
I will say goodbye to you all. Fans, thank you for joining us on the Message Talk Show. If you got any comments, just put your comments in the feed and connect with Normi Khwaja, an amazing lady. Fun to be with. Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Are you right?